In this video, I'm going to show you what builds I used to beat Act 2. I'm going to start with the main character. He's a fighter, battle master, level 9. So the items I used on my fighter, my main character, Horrigan, it's this one. It actually doesn't give me that much advantage. It's a heavy armor helmet, and my fighter is the only guy in my party that can use heavy armor, so I gave him this helmet. The Hunter's Mark is good because you do 1 to 6 more damage if you hit an enemy, and he has the cape that gives him armor class +1 and saving throw +1. Not the best cape, but it's good enough. It's good enough. And he uses this armor that I crafted at the forge. It's a splint armor. It's a heavy armor, so he's the only one who can use it. It reduces the damage by 2, all damage by 2, and it also, if someone hits me for 3 turns, they get reeling. So they get -1 penalty to attack rolls for every turn remaining. So for 3 turns, they get -1 attack roll. My gloves are these. Your weapon attack deals an additional 1 to 4 fire damage, and your unarmed attack deals additional 1 to 4 necro damage. Since I'm using a weapon, it's 1 to 4 fire damage, and it can possibly inflict bleeding. I don't know if I've seen the bleed yet, to be honest. I have an attack, this attack, I have lacerate that do bleed damage for 2 turns, but other than this attack, I don't know if I ever seen my guy doing bleed damage on an enemy. And he's using these boots, the Nightwalkers, and he can't be enwebbed, entangled, or ensnared, and he can't slip on grease or ice. And he also gets the Misty Steps. The Misty Steps, it's a great ability. You can like teleport wherever. If you can see the distance, you can teleport to that distance. This necklace, this necklace doesn't do much. It does a lot of things. It doesn't do a lot of things, but it does something. It's the voice of the circle. It grants an ally a +2 bonus to persuasion check. That's good if you want to persuade your enemies to do whatever you want. But in a fight, it doesn't do much. I usually use the Surgeon's Amulet. Can you stop blinking? That once per turn... No. Can you stop blinking? Once per long rest, when scoring a critical hit on a humanoid, the wearer can paralyze the target for 2 turns. Why are you blinking? Can you stop blinking? I use this one. But Cleric was not a humanoid. He was an undead. And Merkel was also an undead. He's a skeleton, so I'm guessing he's not a human. So I don't really have a good necklace for Horrigan. He also uses this in occasions, like Speak to the Dead, level 3, so you can speak to the dead. His rings are, again, Persuasion and Deception. It's the best ring I got so far, because none of the other rings really do anything for me. Maybe this ring, but it's once per long rest. So if I crit hit once, No, if I kill a creature, your next attack roll will be a crit hit. So if I kill one creature, I will crit the next creature. But yeah, one crit. Who cares? One crit. Who cares? Honestly, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. So he has this ring, Persuasion and Deception. But the next ring he has is this. Your weapon attacks also deals 2 acid damage. That's flat. That's flat 2 acid damage. My main weapon is a good one. It's a halberd of vigilance. I got this at the entrance of the tower. Is that what it's called? It's a halberd. Then you gain a +1 bonus to initiative rolls and advantage on perception ability check. Yeah, perception again. And this, when you make an attack roll as a reaction, you make it with advantage. So if an enemy is standing next to you and he's trying to run away, and your character making a reaction to attack that enemy, it's an advantage roll. And it's also weapon enchantment +2. So it deals more damage. You also have this crossbow that I hardly ever used. I think I used it one time maybe in the fight against Cleric. So if you get charmed by an enemy, you can use cleave to bypass the charm. You can use cleave to bypass the charm and hit the enemy anyway. And Shadowheart. My Shadowheart is a support character. Shadowheart's helmet. Shadowheart is pure support. Shadowheart is pure support. I usually use... where is it? This guy. I use this guy. The Guardian of Fate. Summons a minion. That if there's enemies within this aura, this minion will attack. No, don't move. Don't move. This minion will attack the enemy, doing massive damage, but also taking damage. I think he takes the same amount of damage that he deals. So if he deals 11 damage, he takes 11 damage. And his HP goes down. When the HP is 0, well, he dies. But this guy, holy crap, this is a good guy. This is a good guy. But enough about him. Oh my god, yeah, summon him. Yeah, and he's gone. And I also like this aura. So a lot of guys in Act 2 is necrotic immune. So, but they are radiant not immune. This aura will do a lot of damage. This aura is a concentration aura. So if Shadowheart runs into enemies with this aura, the enemy will take damage. And the next turn, the enemy will take more damage. The next turn, damage again. So this is a passive aura. As long as she can retain her concentration, this aura will do massive damage. Now it's only... I think it's only a level 4 or 3, I can't remember. But can I say, it's a level, it's only a level 3. Okay, so it does 3 to 24 damage each turn. So if I just run into enemies, it will do massive damage. Well, it will do 3 to 24 damage. Those are the skills that I used on Shadowheart. Well, I also heal. But yeah, she's a healer, so I heal. She heal. And her items are this one. It's just a helmet. It's not the best helmet you can use, but it's a helmet. It gives the wielder a +2 bonus to saving throws against spells, and Constitution saving throws +1. It's a decent helmet. It's not a good helmet, but it fits. Like if someone threw magic at her, she had bigger chance to avoid the magic or something like that. And her cape, yeah, it absorbs elemental damage once per short rest. Take half damage from the next elemental attack targeting you, and deal an additional 1d6 of that elemental type on your next attack. So if someone attacks you with fire damage, and the next attack you do does 1d6 of fire damage. It's decent. It's like she needed a cloak, so I gave her a cloak. Yeah, I forgot to say, she's a trickery. She's a cleric trickery. I didn't change her at all. She's a standard cleric trickery, and she really likes me apparently. But that's beyond the point. Her armor is the scale mail that I created at the forge. It's the same as the splint mail that my main character has, but it's not as good. All incoming damage is reduced by 1, and reeling again. Oops, I need to press T. And reeling 2 turns instead of 3 turns. Yeah, and disadvantage stealth checks, we don't stealth, we just rush in. We just rush, no stealth. And no critical. Her gloves. This, on the other hand, are good gloves for her, because when she heals any of my party members, yeah, as you can see, this, when you heal another creature, it gains resistance against bludge, piercing and slashing damage dealt by weapon attacks. So when I heal my teammates, they get resistance against attack damage. And that's huge. That's huge. It also have a strength saving throw. So if someone wants to push me, well, push Shadowheart, it's harder for them to push Shadowheart. And her boots, it also synergizes with her heal. It's the comeback. When the wearer heals a target, it gains an additional 3 temporary hit points. So whenever I use like mass heal, this mass cure wounds, mass healing words, or even this one, prayer or healing, or healing words, or cure wounds, the person I heal, they will get +3 temporary hit points. Whenever I heal someone, they get resistance and 3 extra HP. And she has Misty Step, so she can travel wherever. I don't think I ever used Misty Step in Shadowheart, to be honest. And she also has movement speed, +3 meters, so she can run 3 meters longer. That's quite good. Oh yeah, she has this amulet. Because she's my healer, I want her to be able to restore a spell slot, so she can restore. If I put that on and press this icon down here, she can restore a level 6 spell slot. She doesn't have a level 6 spell slot, but she can restore 5. She can restore a level 5 spell slot. See, if I use this, you can restore a level 5 spell slot. And now she can use all her spells again. And her weapon is... her weapon sucks. Well, her weapon doesn't suck, but it's an Act 1 early weapon that you can craft. It's like the first weapon you can craft in Act 1. And this is it. Because my Shadowheart is a support. She doesn't need damage. My Shadowheart doesn't need damage. First of all, she get damage. Well, she can summon. Oh, she can summon. Oh, never mind. Yeah. First of all, she can summon skeleton archers. These guys. They do a lot of damage. And she has this aura. They do a lot of damage. And she also summons this guardian. That do a lot of damage. So her weapon doesn't need to be strong. So her weapon is this. The Vision of the Absolute. It's like the first weapon that you can craft, I think. You find the 2 pieces at the Owl Bear cave. And when you attack, when the target fails a dexterity saving throw, you blind them. So if you attack an enemy and it fails a dexterity throw against blindness, you get blinded. And you deal an additional 2 to 12 piercing damage. But the enemy needs to have multiple eyes. So you can't blind an enemy without eyes. The enemy needs to have eyes in order to be blinded. That's like the downside of this weapon. And the shield that I used in Act 2 to beat Act 2 is this one. It's the one that I crafted. Yeah, this one I also crafted at the forge. Like shield bash. When a foe hits you with a melee attack, you can use your reaction to knock it prone. Unless they succeed at dexterity saving throw. So you can knock people down with this shield. And you also get one level 1 spell. You also get this. You can heal yourself for flat 10 health. You heal yourself flat 10. And you give yourself an increased HP of 10. She also has a crossbow that she never use. And Astarion. I can't click Astarion. Astarion is a damage dealer. He's my damage dealer, pick locker, and pickpocker, I would say. Never pickpocket anything with him, but he's disarming traps and unlocking chests. And I gave him this hat so he could be like Harry Potter. Harry Potter? Yes, Harry Potter. No, it's once per turn. Any condition inflicted on a target also applies 2 turns. This. That's a whole lot of text. And when he inflicts a condition, he also do 1d4 cold damage. And his cape, when someone attacks Astarion, that creature takes 1d4 acid damage. His armor is Act 1 armor, I think. Just protects him against bludge damage. Because he uses light armor. And light armor is not very good. Well, it is good, but not this one. It's a +2. His gloves. These gloves, on the other hand, are really good. Since he's using 2 weapons, he gets this. When you make an attack with your offhand weapon, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the attack. So your second hand attack doesn't do less damage. Like here, this weapon does do 5 to 8 damage. When I put it in the offhand, it does 5 to 8 damage. If I did not have these gloves, it would do 2 to 5 damage. But with these gloves, it doesn't update when I put it on. That's weird. But with these gloves, they do 5 to 8 damage. So they do full damage with these gloves. Your offhand weapons does full damage with these gloves. And his boots, it's jump distance. We all jump. We all jump is this game. We all jump. So his jump distance is increased by 1.5 meters. He can just jump far. And acrobatic, he's harder to push, I think. Acrobatic, you can see it. I think he's +1 harder to push. His amulet, guidance, not that useful, because Shadowheart has guidance built in. So I always use Shadowheart guidance.
Someone there.
But he has guidance. I don't know. I haven't found any better amulets that I can use. It's like some of these items. I'm in Act 2 and I haven't found better items to use. But this is what I use to beat Act 2. His amulet, his guidance. This ring is stealth 2. Don't really care about stealth because we don't stealth. But sleight of hand, that's good. Charisma, I don't give a penny for charisma on this guy. He can have -50 charisma. I don't care. Sleight of hand is good. It helps me with I can't see. It helps me with unlocking chests and disarm and all of that stuff. So it's kind of good. This ring is kind of good. So when a foe fails a saving throw against one of your spells or actions, they gain mental fatigue for 2 turns. Mental fatigue is a -1 penalty to wisdom, intelligence, and charisma saving throws for every turn remaining. So for 2 turns, they have -1 penalty to wisdom, intelligence, and charisma. His main weapon is the Sword of Life Stealing. Life Stealing critical. On a critical hit, the target takes an extra 10 necrotic damage as long as it isn't a construct or an undead. You also gain 10 temporary hit points. This weapon isn't the best for Act 2 because almost all your enemies in Act 2 will be dead. Or not dead, they will be undead. Well, they will be dead undead. And weapon enchantment +2. And his offhand is just a simple dagger with sus. Oops. It susses damage. Susses damage. That must sound great on Discord when I'm saying susses damage. Dagger, I mean. Not susses damage. But he has a bow that he uses. This bow inflicts frighten. If it hits, possible inflict frighten. And it also gain +1 d4 bonus to attack and damage against frightened enemies, creatures, enemies. And it's +1. So that's a good one. And he's standard. He's a rogue thief. Standard rogue thief. Now on to Gale.
Magic touch.
So Gale is kind of interesting. Gale loves me. Yeah, he loves me. Yeah, this ring that I switched to. I switched this ring with whatever. I infuse myself with light. And what that does, now Gale is light. He's lighting up like a light post. And that's significant, because I'm going to get to that. Oh yeah, I also spec Gale into wizard. He's a wizard, but he's also a necromancer. There's the Lifebringer. When this is also significant. When the wearer gains lightning charges, they also gain 3 temporary hit points. With this weapon, when the wielder deals damage with a spell or cantrip, they gain 2 lightning charges. So this weapon diffuses or charge Gale with lightning charges. So whenever he uses spells or cantrips, he always gains lightning charges. And he uses this, he gets 3 temporary hit points whenever he gains lightning charges. And whenever he uses a spell or a cantrip, he gains lightning charges. So he will always have 3 temporary hit points. Unless he runs out of lightning charges. And then escape. When Gale casts a spell while in melee, he gains 7 temporary hit points. So if there's a enemy close to him and he's cast a spell, he gains 7 hit points. His armor is just a +2 armor, light armor, that gives him 2 less bludgeoned damage. He takes 2 less bludgeon damage. His gloves, on the other hand, is missile snaring. You can intercept missiles from ranged weapon attacks, reducing the damage by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier. So if someone shoots Gale with whatever, he can missile snare that and take less damage. Everybody is attacking Gale. Everybody is attacking Gale. I don't know what people have against Gale, but they all want to kill Gale. So this is a good item. His boots. When the wearer stands in water during combat, it becomes electrified. I don't use that. If the wearer, but the other one, if the wearer starts to turn on an electrified, no, I don't use that either. What the hell? I should use this one. And no, I should. What the hell? I should just electrify the ground I'm standing on. His amulet is this one. Ray of Fear and Wounding Prey. Sorry. Wounding Ray. 2 good skills. It frightens my target for 2 turns. And that one deals damage. And it only costs action and action. His rings are when the wearer deals spell damage while illuminated by a light source. They also inflict radiation orb. What the hell? Upon the target. So this ring lights them up. This ring lights Gale up. This ring, if it's lit up, will create this on the target hits. Affected entity has a -1 to attack roll per remaining turn. Oops. So he lights himself up, this ring. He shoots his target, probably with this thing. They're gonna take 5 targets. And it will illuminate 5 targets. And they will have -1 attack roll. And this one. The wearer deals an additional 2 points of damage against creatures that are illuminated. So first he illuminated himself. He illuminated targets. And then he deals 2 more damage to all the illuminated targets. So that's the builds that I used to finish Act 2. I hope you enjoyed. And I see you in the next video. Bye.